Good evening, viewer. It's the 20th of September 2023 and you're most welcome to the NILEcast on Westnile Television, where we give you the daily news bulletins of the day every day from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. My name is Okumringa Christine. Before we dive into any of the stories, let's first have a look at the news making headlines. In the headlines tonight, Aurora Central Division leaders reject the transfer of the town clerk in Aurora City. Nebi District Councillors trained on Integrated Revenue Administration System. And Moyo District leaders draw plans to fight against malaria. This and more in the NILEcast News Bulletin. A warm welcome, viewer, to the NILEcast on Westnile Television. Now let us dive into some of the stories of the day. Uganda economic growth trajectory has performed below the 6% target during the 2020-2023 financial year, attributed to the disorganization by the long-spent COVID-19 lockdowns that shut down the country's economy. In the ongoing national budget consultative engagements in the Westnile region for 2024-2025 financial year, leaders asked the government to devise means of coping up with the developments. Frederick Dramadri has more.
Leaders in Westnile region have asked the government of Uganda to facilitate speedy growth of border markets and other revenue sources while blocking avenues that manifest the increase in illicit financial flows into the country in order to foster economic growth. Government of Uganda had set a target of 6% for its economic growth after the COVID-19 pandemic in 2022. Of this, only 5.5% was realized, giving a gap of 0.5%, though it is slightly higher than that of the financial year 2021-2022. In a statement from the Finance Minister Mateya Kasaija, presented by the State Minister for Investments and Privatization Evelyn Anite, the country did not meet the target due to various leakages in revenue and failure to impress government programs. She tasked the leaders in Western region to control the leakages and to rally citizens towards development programs of government. Besides this, Anita emphasized that government has prioritized several growth centers, including markets, and is currently promoting value addition facilities in order to retain money and increase household income.
The rate of 5.5 in the financial year 2022-2023 compared to 4.6 in the financial year 2021-2022. The annual overall inflation reduced further to 3.5 in August 2023 from 3.9 in July 2023. This is way below the policy target inflation rate of not more than 5% per annum. As a result of low inflation, the central bank rates, CBR, was reduced to 9.5 in August 2023, down from 10% in July 2023. And commercial bank lending rates fell to 18.4% in June 2023 from 20.1% in the previous month. The economy is projected to grow by 6% by the end of financial year 2023/2024 and further to 7% over the medium term.
Many leaders react that majority of the government programs have had their contractors centrally sourced from the central government, while a number of service delivery points in the local governments have never been improved, a reason that keeps the region in a poor state. They recommend that once these are improved, the economic regional balance will be realized.
We have projects of 2021-2022 that have up now not been completed, and this is because of hybrid procurement.
We don't have budget for special needs. What budget we have? What budget we have is only conditional grants in the department. Where are we leading? Can we ascertain quality?
We operationalize health center force fully.
They should be able to work alongside developing capacities of local governments to ensure that these sites are also, marketed.
According to World Bank, Uganda's economic growth is expected to accelerate to above 6% per year, and that this acceleration in the growth of the economy may reduce poverty, measured at $2.15, an equivalent of 8,000 shillings per day, which is above the international poverty line from 41.4% in 2023 to 39% by 2025. Frederick Tamatri, Westnile TV, Nilecast.
And more in our stories, Nebi district leaders have received training on how to implement the new system of collecting and paying revenues through the Integrated Administration System, IRAS, by taxpayers in the district in a one-day training at the Nebi district boardroom. Alfred Jawok has more.
During a one-day training of the councillors and technocraft today at Nebi district boardroom, the Senior Chief Finance Officer, Nebi District Local Government, Godwin Ugenrod, said some parish chiefs assigned to collect revenues for the district were misusing the money paid to them by taxpayers in the district. Ugenrod further said they noticed this during the monitoring of government programs. According to the finance officer, the new system will help to reduce cases of corruption among the parish chiefs and town agents.
Parish chiefs collecting money, the manual system, putting in the pocket. When he's hungry, he goes to eat, he goes to pick money from the same pocket. So you are not sure whether they're picking his money from the pocket or the money he has just collected. So that one brought a lot of mistrust. So we are saying no cash collections to the parish chiefs. We just give you PRN and you pay.
However, Honorable Gabriel Shibere, District Councillor for Older Persons, Jopangira Sub-County, noted that some parish chiefs have already decried the new system of paying taxes, as this will be paid through Uganda Revenue Authority.
Some sub-counties are richer in terms of resources and taxpayers. Others are not. Now, if they collected more money, let me say, Jopangira, where I come from, has collected more money than Atego sub-county in terms of services. Shall we get more services than Atego? Number two, there are some taxpayers which are invisible, like truck drivers. We have arrears with a lot of money from the point of entry and exit. How can this system generate some money from arrears, especially at the Castro? Their money is only seen by the Malaya, the prostitutes. But that money can also help in bringing some cash to the district.
Meanwhile, Patrick Chunyai, the coordinator Integrated Revenue Administration System, IRAS, Nebi District, assured the councillors that this system will help taxpayers to know the difference between trading licenses. Chunyai revealed that during his analysis, he realized there were some revenue sources which were not paid, but called the tenderers, who confirmed that he paid cash money to parish chief who missed the money but later refunded it to the district finance team.
When I was doing my analysis, I realized that there is a revenue source that was not fully paid. Then I started making calls. I called the tenderer. He said, yes, I paid. I was given a receipt. I said, fine. I followed out, I made sure that that money was paid on the IRAS. And that's what is going to happen. If we follow on the system, if a taxpayer has not paid, we go back to the taxpayer and ask, why have you not paid? If you are paid, to who? So such scenarios will not arise.
However, during a closing remarks, Emmanuel Rombi, District Chairperson Nebi District, urged the councillors not to be silent on monitoring the parish chiefs and town agents during their operations to collect revenues. He appealed to the political leaders to embrace and promote this new system of paying taxes.
We advise that we need to lobby for this system, and it has come. Now ours is to embrace it, build on it, and also promote it. You have seen how we had revenue challenges, and that has impacted on our council sittings and so forth and activities generally. It's our prayer, and it has been our hope that this will provide solutions to those challenges, especially on revenue linkages. Also, you can see, like they've given an example, Jopangera, from 40, we have gone to now 107. And this is just a sample. Including in your sub-counties, there are undisclosed revenue sources that you didn't know about. But people are collecting money from these people. And that's why the speaker, I want to re-echo what the speaker said. There are people who are not positive about it because it has opened the hidden corners of theirs. And for us, we have to discover more, and I'm thanking the Parombo Town Council again of asking for the list, so that those ones that are missing on the list, we can discover more and get them out. Every money that we lose in somebody's pocket, it affects our services in the district and in your sub-county. Now, if we steal from the public fund, we are cheating ourselves, because this is the same money that is meant to facilitate us and provide services in the district.
Reports from Nebi District Finance Department indicate that since this system was introduced this year, they collected over 50 million shillings from 10 million shillings previously using manual process to collect revenues in the district. Alfred Jawok, Westnile TV, Nilecast.
And more in our story, stakeholders under the Presidential Malaria Initiative Program in partnership with Moyo District Health Department held an engagement to draw plans on how to fight against the high prevalence of malaria in the district at the Moyo District Health Office boardroom. Okumu Dominic has more.
Stakeholders in Moyo District have today, 19th September, been engaged on the Mass Action Against Malaria campaign under the Presidential Malaria Initiative Program in partnership with Moyo District Health Department in a meeting held at the District Health Office boardroom. The engagement meeting brought in a handful of district stakeholders from different departments such as the Department of Health, Education, Engineering, Production, Security, among many others, to draw plans in order to fight the high malaria prevalence in the district. Dr. Moko Stephen, the Assistant District Health Officer in charge of environmental health, who also doubles as the district malaria focal point person in Moyo, urged the stakeholders to cooperate and disseminate the necessary information about malaria prevention and control to the general public. Mr. Obulejo Jimmy, the acting biostatistician, Moyo District, said the prevalence rate is too high and requests the stakeholders to get involved in the fight against malaria in the district.
According to the HMS data reported by our health facility, as per last financial year, malaria remains the leading cause of morbidity, contributing to 48% of the total diagnosis in our health facilities. That is 70%, to say 156,948 out of 225,006 people who attended OPD presents with fever. Out of those presented with fever, 88% of the suspected fevers were subjected to malaria test.
Mr. Mukirane Mike, the Presidential Malaria Initiative Health System Strengthening Advisor under the Malaria Reduction Activity, said in the past less attention was given to fight malaria, yet it has continued to be one of the silent killers in the country.
Malaria affects the poor, so it has been neglected for the poor. Because me and you here, if I ask when you last got a bout of malaria, you will tell me there's some because you can be able to afford a mosquito net, you can be able to sleep under a mosquito net. But my grandmother in the village there cannot be able to afford that. So that's why we gave a lot of attention to COVID more than malaria. But we are saying now malaria is killing more people than COVID. It has opened our mind, as you have said. Why shouldn't we put a lot of effort on malaria? the way we put it on COVID. And that's the genesis of these meetings that we are having, the MAM meetings, because it is you down here who can be able to push that message, who can be able to advocate, who can be able to mobilize for resources as the district.
Mr. Ogwido John is the Internal Security Officer, Moyo Sub-County, who represented the Resident District Commissioner. Moyo said they still continue to get information about the improper use of malaria drugs by some community members that has continued to hinder the fight against the disease in the district.
There are abuses. In the sharing of these views, there are people who get the drugs, especially Coartem, they take it and keep it. They don't take the full dose. And also, some areas, the prevalence is very low. We're also appealing to our health workers to be vigilant in curbing this disease. I think this is a joint task for all of us. We are inviting you to fight together. Insecurity about the disease, the killer disease, is not only handled by the security agents. It is everybody's role to take care of himself and the health of the family. According to research, Uganda ranks third in the world in the high prevalence of malaria, and in the district ranking, Moyo district ranks 8th in the country. According to the Presidential Malaria Initiative findings, malaria still remains one of the silent killer disease in the country, claiming at least 14 lives every day in Uganda, yet it's being neglected and seen as a normal issue in our communities. It's from this background that the government, through the Presidential Malaria Initiative, has decided to roll out the Mass Action Against Malaria program to help reduce malaria deaths in the country. I'm Dominic Antonio Kumu for Westnile TV, Nilecast.
And more in our stories, Pakwach leaders unveiled the 10-year Urban Development Plan 2023-2033 in a ceremony that was spearheaded by the Ministry of Lands and Urban Development and was attended by the LC3 chairpersons of Pakwach Town Council and Pakwach Sub-County together with their councillors. Stanley Watum has more.
Pakwach Town Council on Tuesday, 19 September 2023, unveiled its 10 years Urban Development Plan 2023-2033. The unveiling ceremony was spearheaded by the Ministry of Lands, Housing and Urban Development and was attended by the LC3 chairpersons of Pakwach Town Council and Pakwach Sub-County, together with their councillors. Oketi Samir, a resident of Kakawoi, a village, however, said much as the plan is to develop the town, disagreed with some of the plans, especially the idea of the buffer zone, saying if it's to be followed as the ministry wants it, then it will see many people displaced because the allocation seems too big.
Ngo plan tatemere kakare mautemere sala or balongi diarbishon o pa nya ke gramu kadwe ke bi meta pira de berube ari ke dok tumi were ere miro were inu dansa zo ere miro were get surrounded by p onu re bati tumi ko bi no tumi ke meta dakasher mir dansa zo be p ma be magama te mo ke bi magete mo kon ke p ma kama ke do ke dano no ke do ko ngo send ma gitolo ko dano machala ko ngamo beru mamegi ma gitunya ino chala ngamo meku no kaberu diu gitin sende misolo gitin mayeno go.
Bua Drogopol Milton, the Pakwach District Inspector of Police, suggested that from the plan there should also be allocation for a stadium, a magistrate's court, a police post around the district headquarters, since they are missing in the plan.
In the plan, I did not see the proposal for a stadium. And also for a court, the magistrate court, there is nowhere the court is indicated, whereas there is a court in this town. The police post, I heard that there is in the plan there will be a police post at Package, then at Amor East. However, we have to get a police post to protect the interests of. We come back to the local stakeholders.
The ministry will continue with community outreach and sensitization within the town council over the same matter from Wednesday 28 September 2023, then take it back to the ministry upon completion and will begin full implementation of it once it's approved. Stanley Watum, Westnile TV, Nilecast.
Viewers, you're already welcome for the segment of sports. This is Westnile TV, and at the same time, this is the program for Nilecast. My name is Oracle Benson Pastore. Today, we have a lot of stories that are making headlines in the world of sports. Let's start with the game that was played yesterday between Muni University and Ndeja University, where the two sides, of course, had to share the spoil in the ongoing University League. The two universities, they are all together with the Makerere University. You talk about Chambogo University. They are pitted in Group C. And after yesterday's result, where they played out a barren draw, actually Muni University, they were the host school after the game had ended like that. Now taking a look at how the table standing is looking like in Group C. Still on top is Makerere University after edging Chambogo University by a goal to nil on Sunday. They are leading the table in Group C. The second team on the log is Westnile based side located in Arua City. Muni University, after playing the draw with Ndeja University yesterday, it has kept them in the second position. Third on the log is, of course, Ndeja University, also with 1 point. The rock bottom university in Group C is Chambogo University. The next encounter for the University of Muni is actually on 5th of next month, that's in October, as they will be traveling away to Makerere University. Away from that story, taking our trip to what is happening at the national level, of course, our own ladies, the Crested Cranes, had an engagement evening up against Algeria ladies in women's AFCON qualifiers. Taking a look at how the result of the game went, our own ladies, that's Crested Cranes, we are beaten by 2-1 by Algeria women. It was the women AFCON qualifiers as African Cup of Nations. So the return leg of this game will be taking place in Oran. That's one of the cities in Algeria, and it will be on 26th of this particular month. And the winner between Algeria and Uganda will meet the winner between Ethiopia and Burundi. After that, we will see one of the countries proceeding to the women AFCON qualifiers. Not women AFCON qualifiers, rather the last slot of the African Cup of Nations. Let's finalize everything with what is happening in Europe. The biggest of it is all about the return of UEFA Champions League, which started yesterday, and today we have in the other groups tussle it out. First, taking a look at how the games went yesterday, we saw Paris Saint-Germain sitting at Principality, the Sparkless Princess, beating Borussia Dortmund by 2-0. Meanwhile, on the other side, we also saw a game between Newcastle and AC Milan. Actually, this was the early kickoff of the night, where we saw the two sides playing out a barren draw. Another game was actually between RB Leipzig and the team that's Young Boys, and of course we saw the team of Young Boys being beaten by the team of RB Leipzig by 3-1. Still in more of the results that did take place yesterday, Porto ran riot over Shakhtar Donetsk, demolishing them by 3-1, and we also saw Catalonian-based club, that's Barcelona, beating the side that comes from Belgium, Antwerp, by 5-0. Another result, of course, was between that's Lazio Roma. This game was played at Estadio di Olimpico, the own ground of Lazio. They played with Atletico Madrid, and it ended in a 1-1 tie. We saw Prof Del scoring the equalizer for Atletico, rather Lazio, towards the closing edges. And still in more of the results, Feyenoord, of course, of Netherlands, we are 2-0 winners over the team of Celtic of Scotland. Still more of the games are coming tonight, as we are just some few minutes away for the kickoff of the game between Real Madrid of Spain up against Union Berlin of Germany. Few minutes away as the game will be kickstarting at a quarter to the hour of 8 p.m. Real Madrid actually they are sitting at Santiago Bernabeu as the host, that's Union Berlin. Then at the same time as Real Madrid will be hosting Union Berlin, will also be having a game between the team FC Copenhagen of Denmark traveling away to Galatasaray of Turkey. Galatasaray of Turkey of late, they have signed so many English Premier League players. You talk about Hakim Ziyech, they have signed from the team of Chelsea, Wilfred Zaha crossing over from Crystal Palace, and they have also gone on to sign Mauro Icardi from the team of Paris Saint-Germain. Still in more of the games to be played tonight at 10 p.m. we will see Bayern Munich who hosting Manchester United of England at Allianz Arena. Still in the more of the games to be played, Arsenal, after spending so many seasons minus touching the ball of UEFA Champions League, this time they will be sitting at Emirates Stadium. The games also at 10 p.m. as they take on Netherlands-based club, that's PSV Eindhoven. Another game is actually between Sevilla as they say hi to Lens of France. Still in more of the games to be played tonight, we will see Soccer Lisboa Benfica of Portugal tussle it out with the team of RB Leipzig, not RB Leipzig, rather Red Bull Salzburg of Austria. Not only that game, Real Sociedad at San Mamés, they will be saying hi to Inter Milan or OS Inter Milan of Italy. Lastly, the game to be played actually tonight, it will also be kickstarting at 10 p.m. as Napoli will be traveling away to Portugal to take on Sporting Braga. My name is Oraku Benson Pastore. These are the games to be played tonight in UEFA Champions League. Enjoy the games, and tomorrow I'll also be again in the studio giving you how things transpired in today's games of the UEFA Champions League, plus the other stories that continues to break every day in the world of sports, whether it been a local content, whether it been a national story. If there are continental stories there, we don't leave them out for you. We always finalize everything with what is breaking in the world of international sports. I am already out of the studio. Have the best of your time. We'll link up again tomorrow. The same face and the same person.
Thank you, Oraku Benson Pastore, for that sports news and the sports highlight. And with that, viewer, we've come to the end of the Nilecast on Westnile Television. Thank you so much for being with us from the beginning of the Nilecast to the end of the Nilecast, only on Westnile Television. Please stay tuned to the rest of the subsequent programs that may follow. My name is Okumaringa Christine. Have a good evening.